Okay, I'm with Terry O'Neill, leader of Warrington Borough Council. Terry, some people might think it's been a tough 12 months in the town of Warrington. What are your reflections on the year that have just gone?
As far as local government finance, it has been tough. Like our local authorities, we're struggling with the austerity measures. However, we've got a very ambitious programme in place. Whether it's our town centre, whether it's Amiga, whether it's East Warrington, we've got a very, very strong economy. And our three main priorities are to protect the most vulnerable, grow the local economy, and build strong, active and resilient communities. And we think by growing the economy and putting people into work and off benefits, that's the best way to do it.
And are there any particular highlights of the year for you?
I think personally, because it's probably most fits in my ward, is Amiga. I mean, it was an old derelict airfield 18 months ago, and now it's home to some very large logistic companies, some very large manufacturing company we've just got signed up. So the one thing I do like about logistics, and most people don't understand this, is that 45% of the logistic jobs are high-end IT jobs. However, there are a cross-section of jobs which cater for the manual workers. So there are low-end forklift drivers, order pickers, warehousemen. So it's a cross-section of jobs that we're trying to ensure that our communities can take those jobs.
And these jobs will obviously bring huge benefits to the town.
Well, for me, the benefits for the town are A, we're making resilient communities, and we're making probably happier communities, because anyone who's got a job, they feel better in themselves, our communities feel better. And I personally think that that everyone, decent people, want a job. And I think we're growing the economy in Warrington, we're outperforming our neighbours in the town, in the region, which is good. But we really must ensure that we've got a skills base in the town to take the jobs that we're creating. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. We're good at energy, we're good at engineering, we've got a massive nuclear engineering sector, and we're good at logistics now. So what we need to do is ensure that we've got a skills base in the town to take up the jobs that we're creating. And I don't think it's rocket science, I just think it makes sense.
So looking into your crystal ball, what do you predict for the future over the coming 12 months in Warrington?
I hope it's as good as 2014, because we've had a good 2014. I hope 2015 is as good. We've obviously got major developments in our town centre. Amiga North is practically full. Amiga South is filling up. I want to try and make sure that we have a vibrant, diverse town centre. We've got a very, very good retail offer, I think, in Golden Square. What we're trying to do in Times Square, in Bridge Street, is create a leisure-type facility, which is a cinema, restaurant, brand new market, and a civic centre. And in the Stadium Quarter, it's more of a business-orientated development, and the Southern Quarter is similar. But I think what we need to do, and every town and city needs to do this in the future, is repopulate your town. If you've got a population living in your town or working in your town, it makes your town centre vibrant. And we're creating open spaces. We're doing up all our parks, so we get events on. We've got a very good cultural offer. We've got a very good leisure offer. We've got a very good retail offer. Now we need to make sure we've got a business type offer that creates a diverse and vibrant town centre, and that's what we're aiming for in 2015.
Now I know there have been austerity measures already. You've had to tighten your belt. I think it's another 8% you've got to save coming up to this financial year. You've given a lot of positive messages there, but you still have got to do more belt tightening, and that could result in more jobs going at the town hall.
What I've been talking about is mainly on our capital asset side. And I do understand that a lot of people in the town think, well, Warrington's doing well, why are we cutting services? The problem we have is the government is cutting our revenue grant. And the revenue grant is what you get off government, what you raise in council tax, and what you spend on delivering your services. And that's being cut and cut and cut. And it is difficult. We're having to diversify again. We're having to make sure we're delivering the services to our communities that they want. That might be like we've done with Culture Warrington or Livewire Warrington. That's outsourcing it to a community interest company. Or we either deliver in-house, but it's getting more and more difficult to actually ensure that we've got a revenue sector that's actually delivering the services that our communities require. But I'd rather be in administration with the problems than in opposition and moaning about them.
Well, there's also elections coming up in the new year. which at the national elections. Would you expect a change in government to change any financial rewards coming the way of the town hall?
My personal opinion on this is that there's a lot of movement now between about devolution, about what happened in Scotland. I personally think that, and Warrington is being footloose and fancy free at the moment. We're looking at an associate membership of Liverpool Combined Authority, and we're looking at AGMA, or the Manchester Combined Authority. But I think what we need to do in Warrington is complete the new town. It's complete what was happening in the 80s. Fortunately, in Warrington, Mrs Thatcher sold a lot of the assets off in new towns, but in Warrington the assets remained. So we've got land. We've got a good partnership with HCA, we've got a good partnership with Amiga Warrington Limited and other partners, and we've got an asset in the town that we can develop. Now, I personally think we should be self-sufficient in Warrington. We should become our own city. Not going with Manchester or Liverpool, but retain our own city, our own status, so we can complete the new town, enhance it, build new houses, new businesses, retain the money that we get in the growth, and spend it on our skills and our infrastructure and our culture. So I personally think there's a bright debate going on about devolution. I don't particularly want to go with Manchester, Liverpool, although we're doing very well in Cheshire and Warrington at the moment. I prefer us to be self-contained, have a self-contained city in Warrington where we can grow our own assets and spend our own assets on the things that's our priorities. And I think that's an exciting future.
An independent state of Warrington?
Only independent from government finances. Very shortly, Warrington will be self-sufficient in... the only thing we'll get off government is what we raise in council tax. We've never been an assisted area, so we don't get government grants. We get a formula that's very low and keeps us low. So what we need to do is do what we do best in Warrington and grow our own economy. And out of that economy, we get the profits that we can reinvest in the town. So we can reinvest in infrastructure, in skills. That's one of the biggest problems in Warrington. The new town wasn't completed, wasn't finished. So although we've got all this regeneration going on, we have problems with our infrastructure. So what we need to do is be smarter about how we develop our communities, our housing, our businesses, but then reinvest in infrastructure so that we can, at long last, get rid of the congestion that blights Warrington. And it's actually stopping our growth in some respects, but I've got a plan for the future that will help us to grow our investment, but out of that investment, spend it on infrastructure so that we create a proper infrastructure in the town that actually gets people in and around the area.
So confident of a bright future for Warrington?
I'm confident about a bright future, but providing the devolution debate goes how I've explained it. I'm not confident that... See, whatever government gets in, there's not going to be any extra money anywhere. We all know that. So there might be different emphasis and different priorities from a Labour government compared to a Conservative government. But if you become self-sufficient in your own area, so that the growth we create, we get funding from that growth and we invest it back in the town. And it'll save handout from government, it'll save the exchequer money. We're just reinvesting in our assets.
Okay, Terry. Thank you for your time, and I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Gary, and the same to you, and all the best for Warrington Town, and I mean that, really, really mean it. Whatever's good about Warrington Town's been brilliant for the town. It's put us on the map on the football side, and I wish you well in the future. I hope we have a football league team as well as a super league team.
Okay, Terry, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.